have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up.
Okay, so let's start a new play. How could I go? Oh, no idea. This way. I think there's a mod which is adding back the description of the class while you are still here in this selection. But I have not yet installed it. Honestly, I don't think it's something really necessary because you more or less know about the classes. There are features here, and here is just the description if you want to get some lore about it, but you can see it when you have done the selection, and well, not something I really feel the need for, but nonetheless it's interesting for people not familiar with the game, because you can read the description while you have still choose it. And well, my selection is always Atrona because it opens a different way to play the game, I think. You have to look for shrines to recharge your magicka or to reflect, but it's not really hard. Anyway, description of the class is you can read normally here, but with this mod you can read also the description before when you choose it from the list box. So all in all, it's a nice mod. I don't want to hear this because the volume is too high. It's a small video presentation of the mod, but can configure necessities of Morrowind as usual. I'm not sure the actually the option to preserve raw ingredients is working, because I'm not being able to avoid eating some raw ingredients usually. So I don't know if it's something that I broke picking the mod, or it never worked, but I suspect it is something that never worked perfectly. Fire. Heart. Everyone. We don't use this kind of almost scripted lights anymore. I use my plugin, but not illuminated windows, I think. So now, oh, and we don't use any more book rotate, because there are other MWSLUA mods doing similar things. So no. And also this one, because I just did a mod for this in MWSLUA, and so no. And we have the setup for Morrowind Council Live as usual. We want everything enabled, and the one thing, if you don't like bandit attacks in towns, you can disable this, but I like it because I see the guards coming for help, and I like it. Yes, this one we want. Brigands we want. And so, well, it works this way. MCA is using some not real hats, it's using some kind of masks set as hair, I think. So you see very random faces used by the same NPCs. So there are several NPCs and a lot more faces, and this way you see different people, much more different people than the real number of NPCs is. But this has a little problem that these are not real faces with faces animation of eyes and especially mouth when people are talking. So it is better to make them not talk at all, and this is the option suggested, so they don't talk much. And lastly, hostile NPCs should spawn. Okay, so this is probably the setting that it is better to tweak depending on the power of your computer, because if you want to use large parties it can be a problem, because there's a lot of NPCs attacking you, and it's not only more difficult to play, but it can work not so well with a computer that's not so powerful. So I think all in all this is the best option, because you have still a lot of NPCs attacking you, especially Ashlanders, but not really too many of them. And we are all set to go. Thanks for using Morrowind Council Live. I'm not using the very latest version because I prefer to have the previous version. The scripting is a little different, and that's also the undead mod that is still integrated and so on. But all in all, there's no such big difference with the latest version, which is the 8th one, I think. And we can save here because I want to be able to restart in a different place, because now Degator
Oh, dear me. Forgive me, but I am enjoying this.
is doing his usual trick in this mode and is teleporting the player to a random place, so we start in a different place, which is Marog. Oh, we are in Tamil Rebuild, not far from Valdenfell. Well, let's see. I don't think there's danger here. Del Honoria. And sadly I have removed the mod not Clairvoyant Memory, because I was having some problem with some NPCs which was never showing the name. I tried tweaking the mod, but I still have not found a way to make it work 100% with each and every NPCs. And so, for now, I have removed it so I can see the name of the NPCs, even if it is the first time I talk with them. Let me check if the stream is working, because I did not check. Oh, we have? Yeah, it seems so. Hopefully. Etelvaniloma. So, in theory, if we can trade, we should be also have the NPC stats and other things are changed by a mod. And we have the latest rumors here. So as usual, what I will try to do is to reach Sidanim from the place we are now and start the main game from there. But it's a quest in the quest to reach that place. And we can explore a little more. Services. Okay, let's see. Oh, and I have also a new mod. The Cover Yourself mod, which is a really interesting new mod by Mazafo, I think. And it's a quite peculiar mod because not only it is a MWS mod, but it is also a mod which is tweaking the game on the fly in a way very similar to the Morrowind code patch at a very low level, to be able to realize things incredible, like changing on the fly how the dialogue filter about the player being nude or not is used in the dialogue, because Morrowind was a little silly, a little simplified about it. So you could be completely nude and having just a ring and an amulet, and you were not considered nude by the dialogue. And this mod should be able to change this in theory. So in theory we should be able, for instance, to go on with the quest when we have to talk with oh, I can't remember, but that's a part of the quest where you have to talk with Lalu Concealer, and you have to become naked, but in the game you have also to remember to remove your rings and things like this. This in theory should be no more necessary, but first time I use the mod, I think this should be set by default to smart filter and make differences. Okay, so smart filter is on and general filter. Oh, okay. Male PCs are considered naked if bottomless, female PCs if bottomless or topless. Not sure this is a problem in Morrowind, but let's see what happens with the default options. Maybe we could set this on and see what happens. And let's try it. I'm curious about it. So, do we have a ring? I think so. This one. Oh, but this is not a real ring, it's something to configure water life. And there's an option probably you want to change compared to the default, which is this one. Because usually if you have the Morrowind code badge, there's an option fixing this old problem, so you can enable also the snails, and that's it. And then we have another ring, but it's a fake ring to change the time scale, so not a real ring. So I will need to find some real ring to check if the mod is working as expected. But for now we can read the book. Oh, and we can check if the mod passing time while reading new version is working as expected. I can check it taking a look at the time. So for instance, I open the console and type show game hour, and it's 9:27. So normally when I read a book, the time should stop. So if I spend some minutes reading here, more or less the time should be still the same. When I go out, in theory the mod should add the time you spend reading, the real time you spend reading, to the in-game time. Let's see. Theory. And we print the time again, and it's a little higher. Okay, so I can't really take these things.
I could kill that guy. Those boots are ruined.
I think he's going to see me. Let's see if we can hide. It's a little risky because I'm level 1. Not really able to sneak a lot, but it's not a real place where to hide. And we don't have telekinesis or some spell we could use to steal the rings from there. And we can't jump down because we die for sure from this hate. So tell you what, I think I will just try and go out. I don't remember where Marg is. Oh, we are. I think I know where we are. We are near Camel Z. Camel Z. I don't know how to say it, but we are not far from Vanfell. We have some note about the Locking Island configuration. Oh, a mysterious note. Oh, I did misspell her surname. Anyway, I will try and fix it eventually in the save game. You should go to the Valnfell town known as Sidani and talk with Silas Rarius and so on. We have a package for Silas. And then we have some fling. It feels strange for me to be able to see the name of things directly because I was used with the QQQBBB mod and it's really sort of strange, but all in all I hope that the mod I will be able to fix it or a new version will be released because it was very interesting. Anyway, we have Dacia and our fishing rod, so not much, and can try and explore a little more about Morrowind. Paying attention not to jump down because I think it could be a little risky, but it's not really easy because I'm very low level. So it's better to look for a safer way to go down. And we are in a Telvanni place, so not really easy from a level 1 player because I have tweaked the game settings, so
Never easy, is it?
jumping down is much more risky. And I think I would die if I jump down. Ooh, what a nice ring. Can I still? Oh, I can go this way. Maybe. Not really. Okay, I must find a way to go down and... No, I think I have to use a power that I should have. This one from the Atronach sign. she's tweaked. Hello, lady. Lord Artyrion can be found in his chambers. And in theory I should have a mod that is telling me if I read the books, yeah, and it's working it seems, but in theory I should see a book read some indicator about it that for some reason I don't see. Maybe there's some conflict with some other mod. So I don't know. The mod is working because books are added to the list if you go to the panel, but I don't see the indicator, so I'm not sure about it. Maybe I broke something tweaking it, because the original mod has something that in my opinion is not working very well, because it was just showing you the title of the book and not the identifier. Problem is there are a lot of books in different mods that are essentially the same books with the same title, but are different objects with different identifiers, so you never know what is the one you have already read. And I like to have also identifier here, and so I added it, but maybe there's something conflicting with how the mod works about adding this sign on the book, but we will see. I will try and install the original not tweaked version and see if it works better in this regard. Or maybe it is just some conflict with other mods doing similar things. Anyway, we can go down. Oh, it's closed. This is also hard to open. Oh, did it. We are in the dungeon. Some MCA NPC. I don't know you, what do you want? And I'm also using a tweaked version of MCA where generic NPCs are given a name, a random name, because this way they are more similar to the standard NPCs. They are easy to tell because they have these nice faces and hair and so on, but you know, at least they have a name. But he has no much to say. They are almost cosmetic. Ooh, there are slaves here.
Khajiit has no words for you.
Yeah, we could try and oh, it works. So another mod which I did recently is adding necessities of Morrowind compatibility even with mods and meshes that are not that have not been processed to be changed to activators compatible to necessities of Morrowind, which is the usual way you make a mod compatible. And this way you don't have to tweak and change the mod. It's all done on the fly thanks to MWSC. Lua calling the necessities of Morrowind scripts on the mesh. The one difference is that you don't have the cursor over like with standard activators, but it works the same way. I think that's great if you love necessities of Morrowind for its recipes and imperial settings and quests and so on. But this way we cannot go out of the tower, so how can we do it?
I could kill that Ghoul. Those boots are ruined.
I want to show you a trick you can use to steal things in Morrowind, in theory. Am I still flying? No. Not anymore. If I'm able to jump over there. Let's see. Not easy. Usually you can just hide behind some furniture this way, and usually NPCs are not able to see you, so you can be the thief and steal precious little things. Can you move away, please? Thank you. And I just used the alt mode to ask the NPCs to move away so we can pass. But I must find... Oh, we can go down here. Finally. Okay, so I want to check also the map mod. So in theory the map mod is set to the smart map mod to switch to the local map when there are interesting things to be seen in the local map, which are almost doors. So it should switch automatically to the local map when entering interior cells if you have the set on, and automatically switch to local map also when you are outside, but when crossing interior cells and there are some doors around, because the doors are what is going to interesting places like caves, cities, grottos, and bandit layers and so on. And in this way you should switch automatically to the local map. And you can set the minimum number of doors that are needed for this to happen. So the higher the set and the less often you will see this thing happening. So if you want it to happen often, even there's some isolated cave in the wilderness, you have to set it to 1 or 2, something like this. If you want it to happen only when you are near a big city with a lot of doors, then you have to set it higher. But if you set it too high, it will never happen. So these are the couple tweaks you can use. If it works like it should be, which I'm not sure about it, but let's try it. Oh, and we have been just hit by thunder and lightning. So let's try this. In theory, when I change the cell, it should detect the doors and change. Let's see. Okay, this part works. Entering interior works. There's another thing to say. When you are outside, the cell change is not really a cell change. It happens when you cross the border in a 3x3 cell squares. So it doesn't happen every single cell you cross, but when you cross a distance equivalent to 3 cells, so that's another reason why it doesn't happen all the time. But it should happen every time you
That
go
gal looks
inside
familiar.
automatically. So let's try this again. Oh, and as you can see, when I get the cell change, I did not change to exterior. Let's try. We set it to exterior. When we enter, the map automatically changes to a local map. And if we do this, let's see what happens. On cell change, we look for doors, we find them, and then the map is still set to local because there are interesting doors around. That's the logic, more or less. When you are out in the wilderness, this check happens only on the next cell change. That means that you have to walk for about 3 cell distance from one cell change to another normally in the game. Then depends, there are other mods that could cause some cell changes for reasons, but usually it happens with this frequency. I could change it, but all in all I think it's good, because this way it is not interfering very much with how you manually set your map. Because when you set it by hand, usually you want to keep that setting for a while. Anyway, still open to tweaking it, but all in all I'm happy with it.
Go ahead.
Letron Androsi. Let me know, you are just a commoner. I don't remember the quest to do in this place, but... Oh, I really miss my QQQBBB mod. I want to have it back. And not clairvoyant, narrowing. And I also like this swish sound that I added to the my PC sound tweaking, because it really gives you the idea of sneaking. And the mod which is equipping automatically the lockpick when I try to open something is, I think, from Merlord, but I'm not sure about it. Let me check it. Where it is. This one? Well, not the author name here. I think it's by Merlord, but I'm not sure about it. I must check it. It's a little hard to check for your mods, because there's no link to the readme from mesh. You have to open usually the folder where the readmes are. Let me see it. Where is it? No. Maybe it's... another author. Oh, it's by Operator Jack. Okay, so we know the author. Author of the mod is Operator Jack, and basically you can use hotkeys to equip your lockpick and probe, I think. But you can also automatically auto-equip it when you detect a locked object, and this is very nice. A real nice mod. Ooh, a trap! My trap mod. I'm paralyzed. Oh crap. I hope there's no enemies. This is my trap mod, which is trapping some containers, chests, ants on the fly. locking and trapping them, and well, I'm low level, so I just being lucky found a paralyzed trap, but at higher level you can find the paralyzed trap, which is also spawning some critters, and those are a little more risky. Oh, and this is a nice replacer, adding the blinking lights, the Galvani interiors, and this is not an activator, it is the mesh that works this way. It's like a big window, and the mod is naturally glow in the dark. Ooh, Esteban, Morrowind World. Let's talk about Marog. Called the Cliff City by Outlanders for admittedly obvious reasons. And we have some topics from other mods. Anyway, let's read some book. And oh, launch time is approaching. Oh, how nice. I want this shirt for Shiayu. Maybe also these pants. No? Yes? Let's see. Oh, pretty nice. And some rings. We can finally. These are Wesley's work, probably. Look at this. How nice. Or maybe some retextures for the better clothes. Not sure about it. There's been a very nice retexture recently for better clothes. It is not complete yet, but the modder is doing several dresses at a time, and they're slowly updating the modern Nexus, and the quality is really great. So take a look at it if you are using better clothes. This retexture is really great. Now we can get our rings, so we can check if the mod is working. This is hard to open. Is not really a thief. Okay, so what I want to try is see if we get the usual nude comments or not. Having the ring equipped, so we have nothing but a ring. Cover yourself. Are you mad? Have you no decency? So he's actually seeing us in the nude. In the original game, he didn't notice that you were nude because you were still using a ring or an amulet. So this is great. The mod is really something. Oops, sorry. Really something that was needed to make the game a little less silly about it. but it was something technically really low level and hard to do, and it's really incredible that finally someone is giving us a mod like this, because historically it was one of the things more strange and more difficult to change in some way. Anyway, let's put on our new gloves. NPCs are not yet smart enough to see that you are using their gloves that you just took from their house, but you know, maybe they are thinking that we are using the same vendor. Anyway, let's see if we can disable the mod. Oh, but there are default settings and I want to mess with them. It is working so well that I don't want to touch and ruin it. Anyway, from here we want to try and reach. It will be interesting to try and visit the mythical ruins of Kimazu, but we are level 1 and our goal should be to reach Sidani and give that package to Mr. Salus Gravius, a captain in Sidani. Because we have been teleporting to some random place by someone. Oh, look at this. I just love this mod. This gold. I don't remember the name, but it's from a modder called Holofan, which is, in short, is giving a way for you to see the eyes of people under the helmet. And this is really massive.
Go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Eravos. He has a lot of paperwork. Oh, he's also a trainer, so we can also check if another mod is working. I have this mod, which in theory should upgrade merchants and trainers accordingly to the player's skill and their skill. So let's see if it is upgrading something. In theory, there should be some log about it. Let me check it. So if I talk with him... Oh, faction members only, let's see. I don't think this is... yeah, to be able to actually open the part of the dialogue where you talk about his services, and we cannot go there because we are not member of the faction, so nothing happens. But it's correct this way. But anyway, we want to take a boat because we want to try and reach fun of fun.
Speak, traveler.
So, in theory, the scenic travel should walk with time rebuilt shipmasters like Mr. Silotrilana here. In some cases, there may be difference between the time rebuilt destinations and standard destination and the one added by my mod, because they changed some of them, but I think by default they are not. The new ones, special ones, they changed also from vanilla, are not already included in the main mod. They are a separate plugin, so maybe there's no difference at the moment. So we can go to Andim, Ildrim, Southern Mora, Dalbranora from here. While with scenic travel we can go just in a couple places. So if we want to reach Southern Mora, we must go to Hannim, I think, first. And I want to use the scenic travel. So I will do just like this. We are not very lucky with the weather. And this is another option. Maybe let me check it. So, when we are using my transport mode, there are two ways you can change the setting. You can talk with the shipmaster, and there's an option. Oh, when we had our fast crash. A pity. Let's try and see if we are able to reload it. But anyway, I was talking about the way you can set the mod setting. So one way is to talk with the shipmaster, and one way is to just activate the bot, for instance, and you should have a menu where you can set different options, and one of the options is to tweak the weather, especially of the Tamil rebuilt Sea of Ghost region, because by default the weather is very rainy, foggy, and while this is very lore correct from the scenic point of view, is not very good, because if it is always raining or always foggy, you don't see, you don't enjoy very much the boat travel. So that's a setting where you can change the weather of the region to be a little more sunny, and this way I think you can enjoy it more. But it's just one of the many options you can choose to change or not. So I was just trying to to use that, but we crashed. I'm not sure it was the thunder or some sound change that triggered a change of helmets. I don't know. But sometimes it happens. It just happens with 40-100 mods loaded and a lot of MWSE Lua mods and MWSE old mods and so on. You know, it happens. Anyway, let's load our latest automatic save, which is in Morrowind. Not a very old save. And one thing I see often, especially on Reddit, on new people playing Morrowind for the first time, is people saying, "Oh, I have this problem, I cannot anymore load my save." Well, you have a big problem just if you say something like this, because Morrowind is a very old mod, very old game. If you mod it a lot, it is not stable, so you can always crash or have a save that is no more working, and it is very good practice to use multiple saves every time. Sorry. So to avoid having to save by hand often, you can just use some mod to automatically do it for you. Oh, we can also see this nice boat approaching. And the one I'm using and that I suggest you try is the one from the author of the MWSE Lua recent extensions, Night Cascade, and it's called Sophisticated Save System. And I tweaked it a lot, but basically I just suggest you don't use this option, autosave when combat starts, because it's not really useful, and oftentimes if you reload such a save, it may be crashing, because Morrowind is not very very safe in that moment, but the rest is pretty working well, and just keep it doing new save every 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, but this way you can have automatic saves done for you, so if you crash you can go on from a recent point. And let's try again. You want to go to Hanium. Hopefully this time we will not crash at the same moment. So I got this scenic thunder and lightning mode, which is making lightning crash down on you, also like it happened just a few minutes ago. But what I was trying to do is showing you the menu about changes on the mod setting regarding the region, the weather, because I'm not sure it is enabled by default. Oh, here it is. So this is the setting I was talking about. Less foggy weather. I suggest you set it to yes. This way we change the weather for this region especially, and it should be a little more sunny. So we can enjoy the scenic view a little more. And the animation for the boss has been done by Maestro Antares. He really helped a lot with this and other mods. I don't think he's modding Morrowind anymore, but there are still a lot of mods by him available. Let's take a view. Oh, and I changed the grass. Yeah, I think this is Remiro's grass, I think. But this way with the proper size meshes. And in theory also this well should work like the fire. We can just activate it and use it as a necessities of Morrowind thing. It's selling books. Ooh, we found a skill book. I don't know if that's a mod which is adding the skill when you have actually read the last page. It would be nice to have something like this, I think. And I don't think we have money.
If I can help,
this
I will,
is
but don't take too much time.
Probably well, there are retextures for the books where you can see the text, and this way you can realize if a book is in a position that should be rotated. Else, if you have the original textures, you don't realize it from the construction set. So we have this problem here, and maybe we can use some mod to grab the book, but I'm not sure I can actually. We cannot, because it is not something we can get freely. And so the positioning mode is not working with it. As you could easily grab everything without the risk of being discovered. It should be too easy. No guards here. not so brief history of the Empire. There's a lot of new books added from Timer Rebuild, I think. Oh, this is closed. Locked in complex. Okay, so I think we can jump from here, and this is a good way to train your jump skill, but we have to pay attention. And this is Helnim, another big city in Timer Rebuild. We can zoom in. So if you are using MGI XE, you have a free camera views, the first person one, the third person one, and another one if you have if you keep your switching key pressed, that you can use with a different distance or a different angle. So this way you can really enjoy the scenic views in a better way. Anyway, let's look for our bot to Vandenfell. One of them is probably our ship master.
Hello. Did you want something?
Hello, dear Breton. Greetings. Where might this humble sailor take you today, good Sergio? Or Sergio, I don't know. But we want to reach... we cannot. Marok, Firewatch, Dream. Never mind. So, a new Timer Rebuild transport is giving also a Sedit Mora route here. So if you want, you can take it, but I think our scenic shipmaster is over there, because I'm still using the original destination, not the latest changes to the standard Morrowind shipmaster destination, and so there are some little differences.
and I haven't much time.
Okay, so here's the one. And we want to go to Cedric tomorrow. And there's a nice lady here. She is really beautiful. And I think I took the model from some ridiculous meshes, not sure about it, and the dress is from Korana. Oh, and the weather is finally changing. Under the bright sun, may we forever enjoy the view, Outlander. KMZ, also known as the Cliff City, lies on the mainland, so the shipmaster is said to be a little talky. Oh, and we are eating some crab meat automatically because we are using necessities of Morrowind. Oh, bad weather again. Oh, our stamina is low. I was running maybe. Okay, so here we are. And we are in a very, very crowded Cedric Mora. A lot of destinations. A lady fishing. And let me check this thing. Oh, we have one person looking at the stream. That's great. Hello, Prof. And I think, all in all, the best available creatures are still the Antares one, because there are a lot of them, and as mod resources there are also a great variety. And I don't think I can enter there, or I can enter, but maybe the gods are going to ask for the papers. Let's see if I can open the door. I can't. The mod I'm using to implement the need for papers is called Cedric Mora Closed City, and I like it as Cedric Mora city change mod, main city change mod, because it is adding all these walls around Cedric Mora, so it feels realistic. Walls are done with organic roots and the usual Telvanni style things. I like it very much. and the walls are all around Edinburgh. So we could also try and enter, see if we can, but I'm not sure. Oh, there's a big problem here with this mesh. No collision. Some mesh replacers having problem. Well, let's take a note about it. Must fix it. Okay, so I just found a problem here with this collision. So BC, which means beta comment. Check mesh collision. Let's try again. Oh, now it works. Maybe it was some kind of cell not properly loaded. You know, things happen. So in theory we should be able to buy our papers here. Oh, we don't have the gold. Then another time. But we cannot.
According to the collective articles of the Council of the Great House Telvanni, Outhouse, and Outlander guests in Sadrith Moram may not travel in town or speak to or conduct business with citizens, tradesmen, or publicans unless they have hospitality papers. Hospitality papers may be obtained from the Prefect of Hospitality, Angrid Hell, at the Gateway Inn for 50 gold.
And so, like here you just read from our journal, we must find a way, get some money and buy the papers if we want to walk safely in the city. That could be a nice thing.
Can we hurry this along?
But I don't know how could we get some money easily here. So let's see. Oh, there are being some modders, and this is...
I heard that there has been some murders going around Sadrith Mora with corpses on the streets.
I think this is from the...
Can we hurry this along?
Rest of the Week mod series, but let me check. Maybe we are able to actually verify this. Maybe from the journal. So we go to the quest list, and as you can see, we have a prefix for the quest and the name of the mod from which it is coming, and this way we can know the name of the mods implemented the quest, and we can also, I think, if I press Alt, I can see the mod description in the info field, and if there is a link to the mod location in the web, I can just open it if I press Ctrl and Alt in theory. Let me check it. Yeah, it works. Let me show you. I hope I will not crash, but okay, here is the open link. So it can be useful if you want to find information about a mod, a quest you're using. And the mod is called Smart Something as usual. Smart Journal. Anyway, we have... I think we can try and sell these cups and get some money, but I'm not sure I want to spend it for the papers here, because we need to reach Sedanin sooner or later, and well, let's see how much money we can get. I don't think they are buying this thing here. Let's try. Hello. No. She is selling food, but she's not buying our things. Well, we could just eat something.
Yes.
Probably. Oh, some thief has robbed us. This is an Archimaestra mod. It's called Pickpockets, I think. And there are thieves that rob you, especially in the taverns. But we are not hungry at the moment. That's a good thing. Right, so we must find a different way to sell our things, and I think we must risk to go out. Hopefully we will be able to talk with some... Oh, not this way. To talk with some vendor.
Speak quickly.
No, this is risky. There's a ghost there.
This scent.
Not sure there's a way to go out of here. We are still out of the city, so no way. We could try and fly over the walls, or jump or climb, but maybe we can sell things here. Not without the paper, so
Make it quick.
not easy. Let's see if we can find a way to reach another place. Oh, we cannot even travel without the hospitality papers.
Speak, traveler.
Then nothing.
Speak, traveler.
Oh. Okay, he's getting our money. If we have actually some money, because we have just been robbed, we would like to go to Ibonat. Yeah. And is the mod you are Prof, is the mod you are preparing something secret, or do you have a story, a plan? What kind of mod is it? I'm not doing a quest mod or something like this since a lot of time. Mostly I did MWSE mods recently. I think the last quest-like mod I did has been in the modding madness, and it's been quite hard because there was very little time compared to the scope of the mod, and it is always like this. You start with great ideas, but then you have no time to to finish things. And I think that tower over there is part of time rebuilt coast. So we are slowly going a dungeon mod coming from an adventure, but so a real tabletop role-play game, not something born on computers, but something you play originally with the real people, some adventures like this. So I imagine you could find useful things to use in the dungeon, in resources from the Dungeons and Diamond Antares mod, I think. There are a lot of traps and things you can use from there. We used a lot of them also in that mod, which is called Ibonat not underground. Ibonat Suez, something like this. I don't remember the name, but we used a lot of Antares resources in doing the stews traps. Oh. Well, it's a very long time since Morrowind originally came out, so I imagine it must be a big project. Or is that just you never had the time or the Look at this, we are again back in front of Kimazi, which is actually quite big. And that big dreamer I think is one of the first time revival add-on. And I think there's been some kind of cell problem with the thunder, but luckily we have been able to reach the destination all the same without crashing. This is something unexpected but not unwelcome. And this is another shipmaster, maybe. Oh yes, he's the one able to take us to Cyrodiil, but not something we want to do at the moment. Oh, for me it's a little strange because I never really stopped modding Morrowind or making mods for Morrowind. I did something for I think a mod or two for Oblivion, a couple of mods for Skyrim, but never ever felt the same as modding for Morrowind. Maybe because the construction set in Morrowind is much easier to use compared to the more recent games. Maybe for the atmosphere, maybe also for the stability with the mod game, because especially Skyrim is with that kind of powerful scripting language but baked into the save in a way that it is very hard to remove some mods and keep using an old save. You have to do really strange things with a separated tool, and it's not easy at all compared to Morrowind, where usually you can just clear a little the save with mesh and repair the save, and oftentimes you can just keep playing without really crashing every time or things like this. Anyway, how could we reach Sidanin from here? I don't remember what kind of transport we have. Maybe a boat? Not sure about it. Oh, we have no money at all. Let's try and sell those things. I don't know.
you.
Not sure I can sell things around here.
Go ahead, stranger.
Maybe someone in the fort? No, they are selling to the Legion only, probably. Oh, so you are a relatively recent modder. I think I started, let me see it. So I think I got Morrowind in
I have heard
2004.
rumors of an island to the north of Vardenfell named Solstheim. There is apparently an imperial fort named Fort
So-
Frostmoth.
I think I did my first mod, which was the bad one, in 2004. And so 2 years after Morrowind was published, I think.
Speak, traveler.
Can we sell things to the lady?
Yes, what is it?
There's a lot of people here. No, she's looking for Dwemer artifacts. She's from the Imperial Archaeology Society mod, but maybe she's also buying. No. Can we become an agent? Yeah.
I have met Elena Solis, the director of antiquities for the Tamrielic Archaeology Society. She's come to Vardenfell to increase the Society's collection of Dwemer artifacts, and has special permission from the Elder Council to purchase them from agents to whom she's given her approval.
Wow. It's not the size, I think. It's the quality. But I don't know. I think it depends. I think all in all, my first mod has been a good one for a first mod, but it took a lot of time, I think. So it depends on how much time you use on doing your first mod. Also, I think it depends because I think a lot of people which are familiar with programming languages, and they start usually from scripting, so it's maybe a little easier to make the first mod with just using scripts which are more similar to things we are used to, than starting using a new tool like the construction set and learn all the quirks there. At least for me, I first learned how to use MWEdit for the scripting, and then in time I learned how to use the construction set. So a trick mod. But we are expecting a very big mod. So if this is the mod you wanted to do since you started playing Morrowind, I think. Because probably now you have the you are familiar with the tools, with the construction set and the other things, and you can just make your idea. Because if you wanted to do some mod like this since Morrowind has been published, I think you have very clear what you want to do, and this is something great because oftentimes you start a mod, you have some little idea, but you don't really know how the mod will be done in its completeness, and you just add things and so on. While if your project is so old in I think you have clear, very clear what you want to do. Okay, I don't think we can sell without joining. But she is not giving us a way to join. Oh, we must complete a task. Find the chapter of a left. We have a key, but at level 1 I don't
Elise
think...
has asked me to find the Scepter of Aleft. This important and valuable enchanted mace can be found in a vault in the ruins of Aleft, south of Narmak. If I can find the scepter and bring it to her, she will give me her approval as an agent and purchase any Dwemer artifacts I bring her.
So this is the mod which is making, selling Dwemer things illegal, and if you do the quest, then you can sell her the Dwemer things. But probably it's too difficult to go to some Dwemer ruin at level 1. So let me check. I could try and sell things to someone here. Maybe.
Go ahead, stranger.
I'm not sure. No. Because I don't want to go to Oh, I could also go to Vivek, mostly to buy some containers, because they are always useful.
What's this about?
What's this about?
No vendors here.
Yes?
Oh, a wooden door going nowhere. Oh, this is interesting. I think I can join the Imperial cult here. Hello, lady. They don't want a level 1. I see no join option.
Excuse me. Did you say something?
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Strange.
Maybe the mod is setting. So you cannot join the Imperial cult at level 1. I really don't remember if there is some mod changing this or not, but anyway, no way to sell things. Oh, I think I will just try and reach Sydney by foot or by boat, but by boat will be hard. We have 5 pieces or 4 pieces of gold, so now you get some flour, but not sure they are free. Maybe someone is selling things here.
You like to walk a fine line, don't you?
Ooh, skill books.
Ugh, disgusting.
And I think she is the one giving us a quest for the Ebonat Underworks.
Iraqi Hearth Healer asked that I find her husbanding Blam and calm him down with a bucket of ice-cold water or a spell.
So, the mod should be
Don't press your luck.
something you
You're
can
on
do
your
at
own.
low level, I think.
You're on your honor. Don't press your luck.
Argonian, I'm not buying our things. And this is my hidden wish for a Morrowind mod. A mod that when you open the dialogue will keep NPC's eyes open I don't know how this could be done. Oh, we need 11 gold and we have not even that much money. But I think it will be a great mod because oftentimes when you talk with NPCs, they always close the eyes. And it's something really strange. No one is selling me anything. Okay.
You like to
It's
dance.
another fast travel one. Okay, let's go out there. Us. Barabus graveyard here. Oh, maybe she's selling things? Yeah. Ooh, she's selling actually some nice robes. But maybe she's also buying things, but not the things we can sell. So, no. Goodbye.
Yes, what is it?
Hello. Oh, she's selling things. She can buy things. She has money. Nice. So the mod is called well, the mod is a merge of a lot of house and scenic mods, but house Ciblic, something like this, from a mod called Skillate, is a super flatter modder, and he did very scenic houses. Real problem is he's cluttering a little too much, and especially here near Ibonat. It may be a problem for your FPS, but there's a version of this mod tweaked by Dark Elf Guy, I think, available with a little less things in the cell, and so you could take a look at this. I tweaked the mod a lot before merging it also, so yeah, if you can remove a little cluttering, it works much better. But it's a great mod, very scenic, and there's also a story inspired from the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's an interesting mod. Anyway, now we can take a boat. We have the money. No scenic travel. Sadist Mora, Molagmar, Dalbronora, La Od, Vivek, no Sidani. I think she's only giving scenic travel. Oh, here it is. Let's go. And over there we can see the old Ebonat castle. And the main island, main land coast. There's actually a couple of people over there. Let me see if we can actually take a look at the shipmaster here. Not easy. And I think one of the big problems here would be see how well, if Tango Rebuild is going to integrate the Siege at Firemorph mod, because I think they have big plans not only to integrate it but also to overhaul it, and there may be conflicts with mods in the Odai River zone, because it is very near the coast, so we will see. Oh, over there we can see one of the most beautiful house mods near Sidani, which is the Xenarian Manor. And we are almost there. We are Aldenshaw village to the right and Sidani to the left. Here we are. Someone asked me why we are jumping down the boat so far from where the shipmaster is. Well, that's a trick to avoid you to immediately dock and take another boat when the previous one may be still there turning, and so you can avoid to have one of the boats disappear or to crash each other. So that's a sort of trick to gain some seconds to avoid this possibly. And we are here, so we must find.
Hurry this up, will you?
Sorry, stranger. My time is short, so get on with it.
Salus Gravius at the Census and Excise Office. And we have nice fagot here. One of the problems with MGI-XC is the mouse wheel is not so fast when you zoom in and out. And Fargoth is asking...
I have met a Bosmer named Fargoth who claims the Imperials have stolen a ring of his. He would like it back.
That's a mod called Higher Faction Requirements. I think I'm using something like this, but I don't remember the name of the mod because I have probably merged it. But yes, that's something like this. You must have some minimum level or some statistic to be able to join. And we have no ring at the moment.
I'm a busy guy, so if you could hurry this up.
And I love these sign for replacers. I don't remember who is the author.
What assistance do you need?
And this is a mod called Vanilla, and I like this mod because there's a big quest to find a disappeared mage, and if you do the quest then you can use a network of teleportation, which is really making things easier. We are our friend here giving us advice. But fast, better to reach. Maybe.
Hurry this up, will you?
Oh, here is Salus Gravius. You say you have a note for me? Let me see. Yes, I am Salus Gravius, but my background is not important. I'm here to welcome you, so we start the usual quest. So, this is like I used to play. I start in a random place. We may be lucky and have to do a short trip from the mainland to Sydney, like in this case, or we may have to do something much longer, but I think it's a nice way to spice the start of the game. Anyway, we have duties. Got some gold.
My orders are to go to the town of Balmora in Vardenfell district and report to a man named Caius Cosadas. To find out where he lives, I should ask in Balmora at the corner club called South Wall. When I find Caius Cosadas, I must give him a package of documents, and wait for further orders.
And yes, I think the Yorick Towers is a great mod. One of my preferred castles also, and I like that there are two versions. You can get the version to buy the castle, or you can get the quest one. And the quest one is having, I think so far in my experience, the hardest enemy you can find in Morrowind mods, which is Yorick. And I think, I don't remember exactly, but it is nearly unkillable. It's really hard, but one of these quests, when you finally manage to kill him and finish the quest, you feel like a real power and great mod. But you can also just buy the castle and use it that way. Okay, so I think there's an option to have some advancement from a mod, adding some power when you advance in levels, but you must reach level 5 or level 10 first, I think, and come back and talk with Salus Gravius here to get some new perks. But for now, I think we are almost done. I think we need to get some necessities or Morrowind things from here. Oh, and the backpacks. The containers by CD Kool-Aid. This is an old MWSC mod before Lua era, but I think it is still a very nice mod to have, because it is the one giving you some pretty nice icons, which are technically some fake lights in your inventory, and you can just drop these icons and transfer some kind of items between different inventory in a very nice way. It is not as fast as modern Lua mods, but it works well. So I think all in all it is still a nice mod to have. And you get these standard containers. Maybe the keyring is not so useful, but these free containers are great, and also you can buy some containers that you can use once and drop in your house, and those are pretty nice to use, because these icons that you get are very useful. Oh, Ghost Path, I don't think I played it yet. But yes, especially old mods, the final boss was something impossible. All in all, I think this is some kind of thing that even modern games are using a lot. The final bosses are always something nearly impossible to beat, because they are done for people that looking for new challenge. And I was thinking about, for instance, Pillars of Eternity, that fire, especially the ultimate monsters are really something that you really must know the game and everything you can use to cheat, because they are super difficult. But people like to get this kind of challenge, even with games that are not so based on reflexes, on player ability with the mouse, with the controller. Even with games that are mostly tactical, I think there are many games that are using super powerful bosses, because all in all it's a way to show how much you know the game. And so these old Morrowind mods, even if Morrowind is not really a game based on player ability, can still be some kind of challenge for old player. Anyway, I think I will keep this thing here. I don't use it at the moment. Let's see, what's this? A tomb key to Orlak Ancestral Tomb. Oh, and the tooltip is something nice, I think, because this is a mod, a little mod adding a quest to reach this tomb and get some treasure. But I have a test-free command file script, which is getting all the keys in all your loaded in your loading list mod and writing the destination of the key as a tooltip. So if you run the script, then it will add this description in to all the working keys you are using, and I think it's pretty nice. It is generating this Lua mod based on your loading list. So we have the speed of Lua and the completeness of the tooltip. In theory, you could do this thing on the fly from Lua, but I think it will be not so so fast as doing it once. But everything is possible. Anyway, but we get the key, we get the quest. Oh, can I get this? Yeah. And the dagger. We cannot really open this thing, so let's get some bottles of water. And I think this is the prison added by the Go to Jail mod. And this is the familiar Imperial Office of Census and Excise. Oh, the Moth House mod.
The captain of the Imperial Fort at Pelagiad seeks an able scout for a mission. It has something to do about the Moat House.
Oh, I think I don't remember the mod, but one of the most really strange things, you know, everybody's going to do mistakes on modding, especially at the start when you are not very familiar with how things work. But one of the most funny things I see in a recently released mod for the, I think one of the main Modato mods, was a mod with some dialogue changes, and the change was that instead of filtering one I think latest rumors or background or one of the standard topics, instead of filtering it to not be used by this quest giver, just deleted the topic entirely. So you thought you had half dialogue completely nuked from the game, because you cannot really just delete one of the main game topics this way. But I think it was funny because it really shows that sometimes you do things making a mod that you don't realize, and then people will tell you. Oh, the Moth House is based on a classic Dungeons and Dragons adventure too. I don't remember if that's something that the modder is telling you in the reading. I think not. There are other mods surely inspired by classics like this. I think some of the old mod by Tanaka, I think, especially the ones talking about thieves and things like this, but it is good to know. So I think I will I'm eager to check this new mod you will release with this classic story. I think it should be very nice, because usually dungeon mods don't really follow some kind of quest as main main thing. They mostly do the dungeon and maybe add a little story to start the mod, but oftentimes it's not really something which is the main thing. Okay, so I don't think we can open this. No. So we could just rob everything here as usual, but there's a guard over there, so you have to pay attention. And I think this is the an example about the papers. This is usual message. And this thing, despite being silver, is not really so great to grab, because as you can see, the value weight ratio is not really special. And the tutorial usually asks you to open the chest and so on, but we already started using a fast start mode, so no need for this. But one thing we can do is make Fagot happy with his ring here. Because he already asked us.
Go ahead.
About the ring.
Outlander, or go away.
If I can help, I will, but don't take too much time.
Look, we have a ring. And ring. So we can choose here and we give him a ring.
I have returned the engraved ring of healing to Fargoth. He was overjoyed to have it back, and promised to mention my name to the trader here in town, Aril.
And I like the Moat House mod, but I had to tweak it a lot because it is in a place that is conflicting with 3 or 4 mods. That part of the lake is very busy. I think that's the Rose Cottage by Corana. There's another mod which I don't remember. There's a big farm out there, and another mod with a little alchemist house. So there were several conflicts, but I merged all of them, so problem solved. And probably it is one of the best reasons to merge some mods, because when you have several mods which have landmass conflicts and things like this, some gaps in the land, this is a good reason to merge them. Yeah, also maybe Buzz Life. I think I did the Gondolier script for the Buzz Life in that zone. Okay, so I don't remember if we start a quest. Oh, here. No. We can
Go ahead, stranger.
talk with Vodonius. And there's quite a new dialogue added by the less generic NPCs mod. And also a couple little quests probably added by other mods. We could visit a new house. Over there. So I don't know how many people know about this. We can get a little money. And this is one of the Wurtzes. I don't know how to say it. Coming from Wurt, 3 meshes that I love because you can actually go under it. So I placed it here as a pre-replacer. And this is another mod by Skill 8. Same author of that manor near Ibonart. And also this is a very scenic house with secrets, but you must find a way to enter. Not something I want to do now. What's this? The dagger of fall? Never seen something like this. Oh. That's coming from a mod which I probably never played. It's merged. I like a lot of mods because, you know, you never have enough mod slots. I think it could be the Imperial Employment Office or more quests or fetches mod, because I don't remember it, but it's here, so it's not really a Daedric dagger because you see stats are pretty bad, but the look is that of a... Oh, what's this? What happened? The look is that of a Daedric dagger. Dagger of Fall. Maybe something scripted to do some special things. Don't know. We got it. It's doing... Oh, and we have an Argonian here. Bud scale. Let me rest, Sarah. I have been diving for pearls all day and wish to bask in the sun. Okay, not much sun, but And I think this also is an animation from Archimaester Antares. The sitting Argonian. Look at this. I just love velated trees because they just give you this feeling of water and tropical, not tropical, but I don't know how to say it. Oh, and over there we have one of the less known mods by Wally BB, which is this house, tree house near Sidonia.
I suppose.
Okay, so we now have some money. We can buy a bow and some arrows. And maybe sell this thing. And we need... Oh, we have already a satchel. We can get... Oh, this thing. A skin. And these are the sacks from the CD Kool mod, container mod, and these are very nice containers because you can drop them in your house and then you have these special containers to place things. But all in all, I suggest you get the large ones because the other ones are a little less practical, so I will get the two large ones. And we got some spells too. Decisions. All in all, I think this spark is great to have because there are many creatures of resistance to fireball or frostbite, but less resistant to shock. We'll get this one also. Let's see. Okay, let's get the fireball.
Speak quickly.
Oh, and this is something that happens a lot with a lot of mods loading, because usually when a modder wants to place a new NPCs, he's looking for angles of the room, trying to not
Go ahead.
to not another thief. Try to not go over other standard NPCs, but this is something that everyone is doing, so the result is that you go and get a lot of new NPCs in the room angles, so usually it is better just to let them move a little. You can ask them using a mod like this, so they move where the player is, and then you can talk more easily with them. Oh, dinner time already. And we are talking with York here because he's giving us a nice treasure quest. Found a scroll mentioning
I have met an orc named Gunlock Gross Ballnoth in Aril's trade house, and he wants me to recover a scroll that mentioned a treasure. He lost it in a place called Abisanpulu. He does not know where it is since he blacked out a lot when he was looking for it. He only recalls having the scroll in Abisanpulu, then waking up on the side of the road near Sidanin. I should ask around in Sidanin.
And as here you just read from a journal, this is a new quest, and from the dialogue style you can clearly guess that it's coming from a mod called the Quest of the Week mods. And in short, this is a series of small mods done in theory every week from a group of Russian modders, I think, and then translated to English. So English quality is not so good, but the quest quality is, so I really suggest you give a try to this kind of mods if you like little quests all around Vanderfell and you are not really how can I say it, not really turned off, disgusted by some English error here and there. Well, more than here and there, to be honest. But the quests are done mostly in a good way. And so I merged the first 3 seasons of this mod. I'm slowly taking a look at the 4th season because there are a lot of things to fix in the dialogue, and you know, English is not my first language, so I'm not really the best person to fix English dialogue, but I'm trying it because I like this kind of mods very much. And you find it on Nexus, I think. Quest of the Week mod. And we must look for this treasure in a cave nearby. And this one is Magnus the Short. Coming from MCA, I think. So no real quests here. But as we are here, we are mostly looking
Anytime you're ready.
for
Just don't keep me
Elon
waiting.
here. She should give us directions. Mostly for Balmora. She's a scout. And we have...
Elone at Aril's trade house gave me detailed directions to Balmora.
What's this about?
And if I recall correctly, well, we can ask about the Ebesen Pulu place. looking for hints about it, but I think this NPC is the one that every now and then is giving you hints about
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much
one
time.
artifact location. It is not very common, but every now and then it happens.
Don't stand about.
Oh, finally we found some information about Abazumpulu. A mine southeast of here. Go down the road.
Someone told me that Abisanpulu is a egg mine southeast of Sidanin. I just have to go down the road southeast of here, and once I hit a fork on the road, keep going southeast and I will see the egg mine along the hills to the left of the road.
Come on then. Say something or move on.
Oh, we have a dagger. And the quest to recover some gold. This is classic quest about
Briskar
spying.
Flatfoot asked me to do him a favor. He believes that Fargoth has been hiding money from the Imperials, and he'd like to know where it's gone. If I will work for him, he will give me a share of the bounty.
So this is the standard Morrowind quest about spying Fargoth, finding his hiding place and so on. And I don't remember if it's a mod or something I I added, but I think that's you can choose to do something differently.
I've decided against helping Briskar. He has been harassing people enough. Maybe I could tell Fargoth about it.
So this is a nice way to avoid doing that quest 100 times, and you can also
Go ahead.
be more nice with Fargoth.
Questions.
And I think he's one of the first MCA companions that you can actually have if you manage to persuade him a little.
Yes.
I don't have any patience for questions, Outlander.
Not easy. And we have a leaflet from Necessities of Morrowind.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
And the lady here has a lot to say about people in Sidanin. I think Sidanin is the first mod done in the last generic NPCs mod series. And all in all, it's very nice because it adds a lot of interesting backgrounds for people.
If there is anything I can do, I am humbly at your service.
And so in theory I think we can use this topic. Oh, so you refuse to help Riskar Flatfoot finding my hiding place? You are truly a kind soul. Please accept.
I told Bargoth about Riskar's plans, and gained a nice present as recompense. Sometimes it pays making the right thing after all.
I thought this is a nice little way to do the quest in a different way. And the lady here is selling very nice things you can use to dress, but we have no money, I think. And this is a nice barn from the Serendipity mod, Serendipity Travel. We can use that for sleeping. So we have this powerful thing that is the Dagger of Fall. No idea. Well. So in theory I should auto-equip the arrows, because I'm using a mod this one that when you draw your ranged weapon should auto-equip your ammo with all these settings, and I think it's very nice because it helps a lot doing things faster. No more crabs. Oh, another one there. You're not so good with the bow. Wow. Oh, finally. And we look for the ladder going up to this scenic sedan tree house. One of the fast mods done by Wally BB. And you can find it on Morrowind modding history, I think. I tweaked it a little, but it's a great mod. And this is a note about the house owner. Oh, you're in battle. Maybe it's better to be ready for fights. It is always risky to go around with less visibility. I don't think I'm going inside this graveyard at night at level 1. And there is a very interesting mod recently released. Oh, what happens? About removing the lights when you pick up a glowing ingredients here, but honestly, I don't think if it is worth the hassle. But maybe worth giving a try. Oh, and this is the poor Bosmer falling down the skies, which was the owner of the treehouse. So he was testing spells. And something went the wrong way. So we can get his journal, and one of the most useful things you can find usually starting the game, which is these scrolls, and especially this magic sword, because at level 1 this iron spark sword is really useful. And added from the mod, the treehouse key. Also this I really don't like this kind of iconic Colovian fur helm. We could get this and sell this, but let's get it. Houston, I think we have a problem here. I'm clicking disposal corpse and it seems it is freezing the game. So maybe there's some kind of conflict. Well, a pity, because I was showing you the interior of the treehouse, but maybe it's time for me to stop, because I'm talking since hours and I'm really a little tired about it. But I think we discovered a few modes that maybe someone did not see yet. And sorry for my bad English as usual, but I think it is always interesting to see some not so well known mods, and especially how you can mix and match them and match things and makes everything work more or less without gaps in the land and so on. So thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time we play Morrowind together in this big Morrowind world.